Ready for those strings?
Really?
Yep.
We just changed them, not, oh, that was the other guitar.
How can you tell when the strings are ready to be changed?
They sound tinny.
Yeah, but you know,
And they look rusty.
the bass strings, you'll see a
That's usually
discoloration, like if you look around here.
Yeah, that
That's a very
rusty
different
look.
color than here, you know?
We get that pretty quickly.
Yeah. So a way to avoid that
Yeah.
and to increase the life of the string is after, you know, especially if you sweat a lot, you know, like the salt from your sweat, you know, gets into the string, is to wipe the strings off every time after you play, before you put it back into the case.
Hear that?
Yeah. Okay, so yesterday we talked about packing this pound, right?
Mm-hmm.
And today what were we gonna do? Let me see your nails first.
Oh, tell them what you did for your homework.
We weren't able to do all.
Okay, all right.
So I put in crescendos and made crescendos into Packington's pound,
Okay.
Look at him, not me.
and we wrote them into the book. So
Mhm.
do you want me to get it out and show you?
No, I'd just like you to play them for me. Are you gonna stop the song?
Yeah.
Yeah? I wasn't sure if you were done or not. Because you played the last one and you sort of sat there. Awesome, that sounds really good. Now, you know, I noticed the dynamics, big change from yesterday, but I'm sitting like 2 feet away from you. So you really have to play for the person who's sitting all the way in the back and think about, you know, your dynamics towards them, right? Which means we sort of have to exaggerate them a little bit.
Like when I get quiet, I get like
Really get quiet. So, you know, sometimes it's easier to think about dynamics if you make a chart for yourself, okay, and attach numbers to it, okay? So let's say, oh, I got a shot from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this will be pianissimo, really soft. This will be, let's say, piano. This will be mezzo piano. This will be mezzo forte. This will be forte, and this will be fortissimo. So can you just play an open string for me at number 1? Now play for me number 6. Okay, now play for me number 4. Okay, number 1 again. Okay, that number 1 was different than the first number 1 you played. So, here's a challenge. How about picking one number and playing it 5 times in a row and listening to it and asking yourself, did I do the same exact dynamic 5 times? So let's try that. Let's pick a number. Which number?
1.
1? Okay. And let's close our eyes and really listen and see if we can do it 5 times in a row exactly the same. Ready? Go.
I got a little louder on the 4th.
Yeah. And number 3 was a little bit louder. Let's try it one more time.
quieter that time.
Very quiet, 3 and 4, right? So it's challenging, isn't it? Right? It looks like it's really easy, but it's pretty challenging, but it's fun, you know? Because if you nail it,
I
then,
thought that was fun, perfect.
yeah. Now, I don't want your one to be so soft that no one can hear it.
My 4 got a little quieter.
Yep, 4 got a little quieter. Now, here's something to think about when you're thinking about dynamics. What do you think, how would you recreate 1 exactly the same way 5 times? And I'm going to give you a clue, okay? Blind people. That's your clue. Think about blind people. So why do you think I told you to think about blind people?
Because they won't be able to tell like where I'm going.
Blind people, their senses are really, really great compared to us. We can see, they cannot, but they're better at doing this. You know why? Because they have to. They don't have a choice. We have a choice, so if we can't do it, it's okay, right? Because we have all the other senses. We can see. So once in a while, it's kind of important to pretend like you're blind, because then you're forced to use your ears. Yeah? Make sense?
Now I get it.
Yeah. So let's try to put these numbers into Packington's pound, okay? So I'd like you to start at 3. And the 2 bases, the octave E's, are going to be 2. So you're going to go
I thought
bum, ba bum, bum, bum.
I don't see how I'm going to be able to use 1 if they're not going to be the bases.
It's okay. I mean, we've got 6 numbers there, so you've got plenty of room to wiggle, all right? So let's just try starting at 3, and then those 2 bass notes I want them. So the first one was good, but the second one, the really low one, was maybe the same as 3. That was the opposite that time. I want them to be the same. Almost. The last one was a little bit louder. Let's try it again. Good. So what I'd like you to do is associate soft and loud with how your thumb is feeling in terms of weight. Because if you can recreate that weight, you're always going to get that same sound. Okay? So let's try the first phrase now. The whole phrase. And whatever you're thinking about, I'd like you to think in terms of those numbers. Look at that. Amazing. See, we just made a small change, right? We just started thinking about dynamics in a different way. And it made a difference. So, you know, whatever you have to do, if you have to draw pictures, draw pictures. You know? A bear, a great white shark, or the opposite, actually. You know? Little baby squirrel. You know, just make it up. If you think about the image, then you'll recreate that, right? You could be very creative with it. Okay, let's do it together. And how about a little bit faster? Okay? So we're on stage at Carnegie Hall, you and I. There's, I don't know,
Couple million.
6,000 at least. Okay?
I exaggerated that a lot.
So we walk on stage, and we need to be like a duo, okay? So I'm going to give you the intro, then you come in. Come in. No, that was early. So now what I want you to do is I want you to think about the beat, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom, boom, boom.
You're playing the whole song, baby.
Boom, boom.
You just started playing a different song.
Yeah,
we go. Good. Let's just try that beginning, you know. We have to make sure we're right on, right on. There we go. Good.
Wrong song, baby.
We started together, but you went to a different song. Let's try it again. Now this is going to be 1, 2, 3. Louder than me. Okay, now do we want to do that? Remember I said if I was introducing myself and I said, hi, my name is Mir Ali! So you don't want to accent the end of the phrase, do you? Can we do the end of the phrase? Softest. Good. So we're going to go from here. Ba-da-dum, bum. Think about it. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. No, that wasn't one. That was it. Now, was that luck or do you think you nailed it? Well, let's try it 4 more times, see if you can do it. 4 times in a row. Good. Not quite, but I'll take it. Yeah, so the last E and B, you don't want to accent them too much, okay? So, until I see you again, your assignment is to really hone in, really zero into dynamics, thinking about those numbers. Okay? But be able to do it several times in a row. That's the test. So how many times do you think? It's different for different people. If I play something 11 times in a row perfectly well with the right tone, the exact dynamic marking, the exact touch, for me it has to be 11 times in a row. If I can do it 11 times in a row, I've got it. Always nailed it. So you know what happens when I'm doing it, or I'm sitting down practicing and 11th time I get it wrong? Guess what happens?
You have to start over.
Yeah, and I multiply it times 4.
So that means then you'll have to do it 44 times.
44 times.
And if you mess it up then, you'll have to do it.
Well, if I do it 44 times, it doesn't happen often, but if I have to do it 44 times, I'm not going to end up doing it 88 times. Because by the time I get done, it's lunchtime. You know, and it's painful. So I don't want to put myself through that. So I'm going to make sure that if I have to do it 44 times, I get it done.
But what if you get tired and mess up on the 44th?
Well, you know what's going to happen then.
Yeah.
Right? What else are you playing these days besides practice?
I always play my top 5 rep, which is, well, top 6 more or less. Green Sleeves, well, Allegretto, Waltz.
Which waltz?
Book
Book 2 or
by,
3?
book 2.
Okay.
And Allegretto by Carulli,
How well do you know the waltz?
really
Pretty
well.
So those are your top 5. Let's try it. We'll try it together.
And then those out.
You want to end it that loud? 3, 2, 1. 2, 1. That was 1. Try again.
Take out the bass now.
Okay, let's talk about the B section.
I just keep getting confused
Why
because
is it?
like I've had so many different intros.
No, what happened is, so she's learned it one way from Mike, and yesterday in group class, he wanted her to play it a different way. And, so now she's kind of in between 2 ways.
Okay.
That's
And like
what,
there's been so many different intros that people have been doing for waltz, and it's getting confusing.
no, just,
And you know what? The intro really doesn't matter, because what you need to do is adjust yourself to just knowing when is the intro ending and when am I coming in. But if you listen to the whole thing, so for green sleeves, right? Do you play green sleeves? Okay.
But it's also the accompaniment, where like people have different and way different accompaniments.
That's fine.
but what he's telling you is it doesn't matter if you're going on tempo.
Okay? All you have to do is you have to play what you're playing. Doesn't matter what I'm doing, because it's going to go with what you're playing, right? So if I go. But you have to know where I'm ending, right? Let's try that. Here we go. Keep going.
Stay on tempo.
You gotta do your part.
I got confused.
No, you can't listen to what I'm, you have to listen to what I'm doing, but you can't get distracted.
It just gets confusing when you like.
No, it doesn't.
It
What if you were in an orchestra? You know how many musicians there are in an orchestra?
usually
70, all doing different things. How can you get confused? You have to play your part. We're gonna do that again. same, I haven't actually changed, I did it double time.
It just gets me kind
You
of
know?
confused.
Yeah, but you did it, you know, I did a lot of different things there and you were on. Why? Because, you know, your concentration was on.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like, it just doesn't change the fact that it gets
You know what would be really
confusing.
good for you? Is to start playing with other people.
Mhm.
You should do a lot of chamber music, doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be classical, it could be jazz duets, you know, but that would be really fun and that'd be really, really good. People really grow musically when they're playing with other people,
Mhm.
you know.
I can play with my brother,
Yeah, but now
if he ever has time.
you've become familiar with his playing, you have to play with people who are gonna throw some, you know, different things at you.
I really actually haven't, because like sometimes he has completely different fingerings for songs and stuff.
Right.
So
To play with Miles and start a rock band.
That's right. Now, to summarize the lesson, let's talk about what we talked about
we talked about adding the dynamics, the scale,
and thinking about.
phrases. No.
Good, phrasing,
And
yeah.
also
Mhm.
like it doesn't matter if you're playing with somebody else what they're playing. Just focus on what you're playing.
Yeah, I mean, you have to listen to them when you're playing
Yeah,
together
but just
and work like a team, you know? You can't be so much with your stuff that no matter what they're doing, you don't adjust, because if I slow down and you keep going the way you are, then it's not gonna be like a duet, you know? Okay, so listening is really, really an important part. So I hardly ever listen to classical guitar music. I listen to a lot of orchestra stuff, I listen to a lot of jazz, I listen to a lot of ethnic music, you know, I listen to Mozart, Beethoven, piano stuff, and that's really, really good, that's what you wanna do. I wanna see your bow from yesterday, all the stuff we talked about. Now, 2 seconds. 1, 2, 3, up. Take your time, okay? I don't wanna think that you need to go to a soccer match or something and you're in a hurry.
I have to go to a soccer match.
Do you remember hippopotam music?
Oh yeah.
Hey Rasam, do you think if you would have been playing Twinkle and he would have been changing things up all left and right and making it confusing, do you think Twinkle would have been easier than Greensleeves?
Yes.
Why?
Because I played it like a gazillion times.
Right? And so your brain, when you do all these repetitions, what Mira's talking about is your brain only has this much space to work on things, right? And if you only have to use this much of your brain to play your part perfectly, then you can use the entire rest of your brain power to think about, you know, what was he playing? How do I make it fit? Is he playing louder? Is he playing softer, right? That's the whole point. If you get Greensleeves so good that you don't even have to think about it, then you can think about what he's doing much more of the time, right? It's like we've talked about.
Can you send my book?
Mm-hmm. By the way, I do have CDs and books. I've got a really good flamenco book with a CD.
Oh, really?
Which has a fun background of the stuff that I was talking about.
When you say there's a book,
Yeah.
meaning like that they can actually
Yeah.
play it?
Oh yeah, there's music
Oh,
in there.
that's cool.
Yeah, I'll
There's
get it.
5 short
Or
pieces.
you guys
and
get it.
there's
We'll
a
work out of it.
accompanying
Why don't you
CD
get
with it.
a book that he has, and then you can get him to sign that?
Is it MILES?
Does he have any downstairs?
Yeah, we'll buy
Yep.
a book and we'll find Mir later, and he can sign the book that you.
How about we buy it like and break in memory at our restaurant maybe?
Yeah, okay.
Is the flamenco?
Mir, I'm gonna just remind you that you're gonna send us a PDF with some interesting Indian music.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll send a whole bunch of stuff to Mike,
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
and, you know, with some notes and stuff, because then he can, you know, kind of do it the way he wants, you know.
Well, we use a lot of the iReal Pro, we put a
Mhm.
lot of stuff in there, so he can work with us and then we can work at home.
Yeah.